Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Widya Nur Syahbani and my student number is 73 and I'm from TBIGA. And in this video I will deliver about a material in multimodal listening and speaking regarding to midterm test assignment, and the topic is spoken discourse. And what is spoken discourse? Spoken discourse is interactive speech between two or more people in daily life, like in school, in classroom, in public places, in house, and etc. And then we move to the characteristic of spoken discourse, that is gesture or body language. There are a lot of people use body movement when they are speak to make sure that the meaning of their message will delivered, transferred to their partner or their audience in conversation. And then intonation. Intonation is the use of changing vocal pitch to convey grammatical information or personal attitude. And then pitch range. Pitch range is the relative highness or lowness of a tone as perceived by the ears. Highest or lowness of sound the speaker. And then stress in speech. Stress is the relative emphasis that may be given to certain syllable in a word. And then rhythm. Rhythm is the sense of movement in speech, marked by the stress, timing, and quantity of syllables. And the last one is pausing and phrasing, which is the use of commas, period, or prepositional phrase in sentence. And then we can move to the type of spoken discourse. It has two types. The first one is spontaneous spoken discourse, and the last one is non-spontaneous spoken discourse. And spontaneous spoken discourse has two types. First, unplanned. It's like we don't think it before we talk, and we don't have specific purpose we are talking about. Example, chit-chat with friends, chit-chat with bestie. And the second is semi-planned. It's like we have specific purpose we are talking about. For example, order some coffee in coffee shop. And the second one is non-spontaneous spoken discourse. It also has two types. The first, semi-scripted. Like we have specific purpose we are talking about, and we prepare some written to deliver. For example, we present PPT slide in classroom. We have to prepare the PPT slide first before we'll deliver the material. And the second is scripted, like we are reading aloud written words or written text. For example, news report on TV. And we move to context of spoken discourse. A discourse is combination of text and context. In other words, a text can be called as discourse if there is context, like text and context is a couple. And there are three types of context. The first one is situational context, which is the knowledge of speakers based on everything they see around them in convo back then. And the second one is background knowledge context, which is the basic knowledge of speakers based on their cultural knowledge or interpersonal knowledge. And the last one is contextual context, which is the speaker's knowledge of what he or she has said. And we move to feature of spoken discourse, that is adjacency pairs. What is adjacency pairs? Adjacency pairs is phrases often used in two-way conversation. For example, we greeting with someone like, "How are you?" And the natural response is, "Fine, and you?" Or formal example, "Can you close the door, please?" And the response either okay or no is natural, like spontaneous. And then back channel. There are given by listener to show their attention or their understanding by using minimal response like I see or I got it. And then discourse markers. This can help the speakers or listener put information into categories or segments by using like first, the other hands, and furthermore, and etc. And then H is words or phrases used for softening the force of what's being said. For example, by using perhaps and possibly and so on. So there are many features of spoken discourse, but I just mentioned 4 features that have been understood. And then the last one is the benefits of analyzing this spoken discourse for us in classroom. Like why we are analyzing spoken discourse. If we analyze spoken discourse, we can identify someone's characteristic speech. Someone has different characteristic when they are speak or where they are talk, and will be find the pattern of communication between teacher and students or student and students. Teacher and students communication more dominant or balanced with student-student communication. By finding the pattern of the communication, both student and teacher can be improve their academic purposes. Like the teacher can find the method to deliver their material regarding to well transferred or well delivered to the students. And we can find the different background way code switching and code mixing happen in the class. Of course, someone has different background. Someone has their own different backgrounds. And yeah, I think that's all for me. And thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.